How you doing? This is my buddy Chris, who's got some questions, concerns about how to put two caps together on an inside radius wall, retaining wall, how to put the two caps, how to miter them and make them fit so that the corner and curve is nice. So I'll just demonstrate how to do that, Chris, on a piece of paper here, because it's the easiest way. Seeing as I don't have two caps to demonstrate and show you. So let me see if I can set this up here. Of course, I already did this once, but the camera wasn't looking at the paper. So it creates a little bit of a problem, you know what I'm saying? So we'll do it again. Let's see if we can get the... I don't know what the hell you're looking at there, but... Oh, this is high tack here. I think I got to be back in here somewhere for you to see it, but I don't know. We'll figure it out here one way or another, huh? Biscuit. Hang on, don't go anywhere. We'll get her sooner or later here, one way or another. Oh yeah. Alright, so these two pieces of paper represent your caps. The caps are rectangular. I don't remember exactly what they are. A foot by 18 inches or something. So on your block retaining wall, you have an inside curve to the wall, and you want to make the caps. You want to miter them nice to fit the curve. So first thing you do, line the face of your caps up with the face of your wall. Keep it parallel flush. You line them up where you want them to be. You make this point to the front, to the radius part of your wall. You make those 2 points of the caps meet. So you end up with a gap back here, obviously, because these are rectangulars and you're going around a corner. So you end up with a gap towards the back of the wall that you need to miter. So you take measurement, you measure that gap, okay, just for instance, let's say it's 2 inches. So we take 2 inches. So what you want to do is take 1 inch off each one of these caps to equal to 2 inches. You take the equal amount off each one, and when they slide together, it's a perfect miter. So you had 2 inches there, so you take an inch, we'll say, and this is just, you know, winging it here. You take an inch off each one, okay, right through, like so. That's your cut line. Draw your cut line right. So you're gonna take it off the front of the cap where they meet there in the corner. Okay. And one. You see that? That's what happens right there. You meet up nice. There's another way to do it. It gets rid of the gap and makes everything meet up. There's another way to do it, and that is slightly more difficult. So you have your two caps again, like so. That's the curve of your wall. They're all even with the face. This is the distance you want to take off, 2 inches again, we'll say. So what you want to do is you need to get, and this is where it's difficult because this is a piece of paper and not a 2-inch thick concrete cap, but you need to get another scrap piece of something that you cut off, piece of cap, and you're going to put that under one of the caps. You're going to pick one of them up and you're going to slide it over the top of the other one. Okay, so you got this little chunk of debris or leftover cut off that you had. supporting this cap. This is, you know, whatever. This is 30-pound cap up here. It's not a piece of paper. So you have that little piece under there supporting the cap. You make the you keep the face of the caps flush with the face of the wall. You make the rear point on the corners meet. Okay, so you got that where that meets up nice. Come up in the front, and where both of these intersect one another, you make a mark. Now if this, I gotta pick this up to make the mark because it's paper, but if this was a cap, that'd be 2 inches thick and you can just draw on the face, you know. So you make a mark where both this cap and this cap come together and they intersect one another, you know, because this one's on top. So you make that mark in the front, and then same thing, transfer it through to the point in the back, transfer it through to the point in the back. It's basically you're doing the same exact thing, except for, and this is a slightly more accurate way, I guess, because there's no tape measure to be like, oh, it was 1 5/8 inches, and you know, no, oh, I made it, you know, whatever. Instead of, you know, I made it, took 1 inch off one side and 5/8 off the other, and so this way is slightly more accurate. There's no measuring involved, and that's just my cut. But you see that they measure up, they meet up nice, and everything's nice miter cut again. The other thing that can happen here, or the other, I'll just show you for example here. Okay, all I'm doing right now is cutting a 90 back on, a semi 90 back on that piece of paper. Almost. Okay, so you have your two caps like this again, face wall, everything's the same. So if you were to take the total distance that you wanted to take, if you were to take all of that off one, right? So with either method, either sliding this over and saying, well, you know, I'll make the mark there and draw it through and take it all off that one, or you measure it and say, okay, I want to take the, you know, 2 inches off this one. Either way, if you want to take it all off one and not miter both caps, what happens is that this line, the cut line, has that angle. The sharper the angle, the worse it is, but it's a longer distance from this point to that point than obviously a 90 degree, right? Because 90 degrees is like shorter than, you know, that's the least amount it could be. So what happens is it'll sawtooth on you like that. So you either, if you make the rear of the blocks flush, you're going to get a sawtooth like this in the front where it's stepped like that, or if you make the front flush, you're going to get a sawtooth in the back, which is not the end of the world. And there are probably a handful, a couple different scenarios, I guess, over the years where I've had that actually happen, where I've had to, I don't remember exactly why, but I've had to end up taking it all off one instead of mitering each piece. So what you would do in that situation is make the fronts flush and then take a hammer or whatever and break off that point in the back, so that it just doesn't stick out like that. You can't break it off the front, because if you're sawtooth on the front, I mean, you could, I guess, try and chisel that or something, but it's just going to look like crap. So the best way to do it, the easiest way to do it, is make your 2 points like that, measure, take 50% of the distance that you measured off each one of these, right through to this, to nothing on the rear. Take it off, cut them, miter them, put them up together. Same goes true if it's a outside radius wall. Instead of an inside corner, it would be you do the exact opposite. You know, you make your 2 points in the back of the wall meet, measure the distance in the front of the wall, take 50% of that off each one, slide them together, and they go together fine like that. So there you go, Chris. You got it, bud. I'm sure the phone will be ringing, but you can do it. We'll see ya.